Evening, all. Welcome back to the E-Fest. Well, it's not E-Fest, but you know what I mean. So basically, yeah, we've been doing some of the Christmas stuff, the Christmas cringly kringle stuff, and I'll be honest with you, I barely had any time to play. With the immense social obligations placed upon me by others and parties who remain anonymous, it's been basically impossible to play anything. I think I've played 2 games of Helldivers, and on the second one, the look of the death stare I got from my good partner as they walked past the my gaming room, my sanctuary, my inner keep, basically almost set me on fire. So yeah, it was a bit, let's say, a bit unfriendly. So at the moment, my goodness, it's proved difficult to play, and we're in the dead period between Christmas and New Year's, where, let's face it, it's not really real anyway. So nothing really matters now. Getting time to play a game now seems to be very challenging. I think I played a bit of Helldivers, and my goodness, the look I got was basically as if I'd kicked a kitten to death. But there we go. So snuck in a few games of Eve, a few games, a few rounds, a few things, whatever you call it. And I was actually in this video. You'll see me very quickly run one of the Christmassy things that CCP have done, and I earned like 90 million from it. I was very surprised. So we'll definitely be doing a bit more of this when I get time. So need to devise some clever way to sort of lock my good lady partner out of the house somehow. Maybe if I sort of bung 100 quid out of the window, she'll follow it and then suddenly end up at John Lewis or something, and then I can play my game, which will be lovely. And I'm a fully grown adult, and yet that's the sort of level I'm having to go to. But there we go. So yeah, I've got to admit, I don't really get the Christmassy stuff with this year, but I am enjoying it. It's fun. I kind of like it. I mean, it seems easy. Like if you compare it to the Halloween one, that seemed a bit more killy and a bit more murdery, deathy. But I'm just going to put it down to that's probably a good thing that it's a bit easier. Particularly when running with 14 Tengus, but hey, details, these things I've sent to triers. And I quite liked it. So, and I like that the way the metaliminal storms move around. I think that's rather nice as well. So I've actually been sort of buzzing around different systems when I have time to play, and I've been quite enjoying it immensely. Some good deals at the moment. If you've not looked and you don't maybe really care, you should probably look, because there's some quite good Omega deals at the moment as well. So if you're paying real world actual monies to play this game, I think it's 50% off Amiga at the moment, so that's pretty good. I don't like the multi-character training piece, but I don't think you can trade them either. The way they do it, I don't think you can trade them. But correct me if I'm wrong, because that would be rather awesome, wouldn't it? So yeah, I think just at the moment, definitely a time to maybe think about your subscription. Maybe it's time to up that a bit. 2 of my accounts have actually now dropped back to alpha just because the Plex ran out on them, and I'm holding off. I'm probably going to resub them at some point. I might have a look around at the deals. But I generally buy Plex. That's what I do. I wait for there to be a good deal on Plex, and then I just go and buy like 20,000 units of it. It's expensive, but when you kind of factor it in that you could then just put like a year's worth of Omega onto your characters, it does work out kind of well. So swings and roundabouts, but I think definitely it's something to consider, because right now there just seems to be some good deals on at the time. Plus, I think with the event on as well, it's definitely time. In the next video, I'm going to look at a skin, because I kind of interested in how this new skin stuff works. So post in the comments if you've actually been making skins, because I'd like to know any kind of recommendations that you would make about sort of how to do it, because I kind of like the idea of having a Squad B skin. I don't think they'll allow me to put some form of phallus on the ship. I think that has probably been well locked down and impossible, which is a shame, because I would have quite amused myself at doing something like that. It just shows my maturity level, I guess. But I kind of like, Space Dong sort of skin. I think that would have been quite funny. But definitely going to produce a corpse skin just to try it, really, because then, I can put them on all the other Tengus and see how that looks, really. Also, Thoraxageddon is coming along nicely. So skilling up all the characters into Thorai. thoraxes, thori, who knows? But I'm basically pushing them towards that. And then I think I'm going to try and do some level 4s in thoraxes, because it would just amuse me greatly to see them fall at the wayside, flying through low sec in a gang of thoraxes, mostly incompetent and incapable of doing anything, but I quite like that. It did make me giggle when I thought about it, but there we go. Loving the Sanshas little sites here. You see the snow on everything, the snow, yeah, because I don't know, it's probably possible. I think I watched a recent thing with Professor Brian Cox on the BBC about the solar system, which said actually snow can fall like this. You see the way the snow has kind of fallen vertically down. That kind of triggers me, because it's like, yeah, that's not possible, but it is actually, because apparently one of Saturn's moons, is it Saturn? Could be Jupiter, does that. It has this thing where it's pulling part of the rings from Saturn, so it is Saturn, and it's actually creating a drag in some way where it then technically snows onto this one moon. I wish I remember which one it was. I don't think it was Enceladus. I could be wrong. I could have got that completely wrong. But it's lovely to think that actually there is cosmic snow in space. So I'm going to say that happened here. Some form of cosmic sprinkly dust is being pulled from some local, ring world, ring planet with a ring, and it's basically making a Sanshas snowscape, as we see here, which I think is quite sweet. Blink and you may have missed it, but what you just saw then was me running one of the sites. I did it in less than about 30 seconds. I know it's a bit easy, but I don't need to try all the time. And I think actually what was quite impressive, oh no, there we go, look, the battleships just walked in. So here we go. So this is then the big, sort of head honcho battleship man. And all I'm doing is cycling the auto-fire missiles, because they've already got aggression, so it's just a case of switching them on again, and whoosh, off they go. I hate this game when it doesn't have missile trails. It looks awful like this, but, sorry. And then you can see basically the Sanshas battleship just melts, because lol. And it gets some good loot from it, and I think all of the loot value, which was about 90 mil, it's weird saying mil actually, I'm used to saying B word, but there we go. The 90 mil was basically something like 75 mil in a booster. So, maybe I got lucky, but I do quite enjoy these little mini events. Like the Halloween one was immense fun, but my issue with it was I could never find a site, ever. I think people just rinse, repeat them continually, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's everyone's prerogative to do. And if I was more dedicated, I could totally have done it as well. I just wasn't. So there we go. So we get a little bit of loot there, a bit of true Sanshas, sort of pointless stuff, a skin. That's kind of cool. Kind of liked it. I think, this is the kind of event I'm happy doing, because it doesn't take hours. It's things like level 4 missions, things like that. They take a fair bit of time, don't they? And I find that a bit more frustrating. Oh, I said level 4, didn't I? I meant level 5 for the thoraxes. There you go, dumbass. What a dumbass I am. That shows you how hungover I really am. So I think, yes, this kind of whole event has been quite fun, and I'm going to definitely continue to do it, just in between getting time to do it, because I think that's the biggest challenge at the moment. Plus, I think, it's always a challenge sometimes to find content in EVE. I think that's one of the best and worst things about it, is there's so much to do, yet so often I just sit and ship spin and talk to people and, do this and do that. I never actually undock and play the game, which has always been a problem. I mean, literally in 2003, when I first started playing this game, I remember doing exactly the same thing then. I would literally just sit in station gassing to my friends about stuff we probably should go and do in the game. It's madness, really, when you think about it, isn't it? But there we go. I think we'll start to look again at some of the industry, because I think I haven't done stuff in quite a while. So in the next video as well, I'm going to look at skins. I'm probably going to have a go again at some of the industry. One of the things I'm quite keen to do also is have a look again at some of the Titan stuff. So I've got obviously, technically 3 Titans, but 2 certainly that I can log on. I'm going to look at them because it would be nice to start to look at that. It does look as if, because there's been a substantial reset in the nullsec alliances, it might be time to join an alliance and maybe get in on some of the Titan action, because I honestly don't see the point of having a great big, ship in the game that never gets used. So maybe it's time to do that. So I'll probably do a sort of begging, please let me in your alliance, please, sort of video soon, where I'll be basically begging to be led into any alliance that doesn't yank me immediately. But I think that's kind of something I'd like to start exploring, maybe in the new year, because it'd be good to sort of do that sort of thing, to be honest. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time.